Hi, I'm Amy Mahaly from Be Well Clinic, and today we are going to talk about getting better sleep. We're going to go through what I call in my head a sleep checklist, and it's something that I use to help figure out what's going on when sleep isn't going well. This is something that you hopefully can use in your life or for your children if sleep is a bit of a problem for you. Now, there can be a lot deeper things going on, and it may require a deeper look or other practitioners to help you, but hopefully going through these basic things will be a benefit to you. So let's learn together. First, let's talk about food. You've heard the phrase, "a hungry baby doesn't sleep," and that is definitely true. It's true for all of us, no matter how old we are. If our body doesn't have enough of the proper nutrition, it can't do the vital functionings that it needs to do while we're sleeping and to keep us asleep. So, what do we need for food for our bodies? We need a lot of feeding foods. And if you're not familiar with that term, go watch our video about feeding foods on this channel. Feeding foods are foods that have dense, bioavailable nutrition that's easy for our body to access. These are foods that mostly come from animals, such as meat, fat, eggs, and dairy. They also include vegetables if we prepare them in a certain way to unlock the nutrition. Again, go check out that video on our channel. When we're eating feeding foods, we're going to get the nutrition we need. What are some of the specific nutrients our body needs? First off, we need a lot of minerals to be able to sleep. In essence, sleep is really about helping the parasympathetic system function. Can we get into rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic system, or are we stuck in the sympathetic system, which can be called fight or flight, but is also the system that we're functioning. We're going forward, we're alert, we're problem solving. That is great for during the day, but at night we need to sleep, and get into parasympathetic is how we go to sleep. So, the minerals that we need to go into parasympathetic are primarily magnesium, calcium, and potassium. These work in the body in different ways, some to reduce the sympathetic sensitivity and some to increase the parasympathetic activity. But we need more of all three of them: more calcium, more magnesium, and more potassium. These can be found in our foods, but you also may find that taking a supplement for a little while can be helpful. The supplement that I recommend doing the most, and this is often enough, especially for kids, is to do what we call salt licks. Salt licks are licking or eating salt off of your hand. We need to make sure we're using a mineral salt. Table salt is no good for this. It gives us way too much sodium. We need a salt with a lot of minerals. My favorite salts for this are the Baja Gold salt, the Celtic sea salt, and the Redmond's real salt. These have a lot of minerals in them, and if you do it to taste, your body will tell you how much and which ones it wants to get the minerals that you need. You can also do things like Epsom salt baths, magnesium rubs and lotions, and again, potentially supplementation. Okay, that's minerals. Now what else do we need? We need enough fat and enough protein. By fat, I mean animal fat or cholesterol. So you need to be eating a lot of good fat, and we have tons of videos on this channel about eating fat and why it's good for you and what we mean by saying eating fat. Butter, ghee, lard, tallow, egg yolks, those delicious things are what you should be consuming, and a lot of them. My general recommendation is at least half a cup of added animal fat a day for everyone over the age of 2. If we're eating that much fat, and be gentle on your liver and go slow on that, but if you're eating that much fat and you're getting protein with every meal. Protein is meat, fish, or eggs. Plants have some protein in them, but we are not counting them for the purposes of this discussion. So we're eating fat and we're eating animal protein, and we are getting enough minerals. And the last thing we need that can be found often in organ meats is B vitamins. B vitamins are essential for our body because they are helping our nervous system as well as our liver, which are both things that are very active when we are sleeping. The nervous system we've talked about with the parasympathetic, and we're going to come back to that in a little bit. But the liver, let's talk about that for a while. Because the thing that I asked patients or parents when we're talking about their kids is, how is your liver doing? Is your liver functioning well? Is it getting nourished well? Is it cleansing well? And if your liver isn't functioning well, you will have too many toxins in your body. Toxins in your body will keep you irritated and awake at night. Maybe not all the way awake, but you'll be restless. Are your covers messed up when you wake up? Do you find yourself sleepwalking, sleep talking, dreaming a lot? Those are all symptoms that there is too many toxins than your liver can handle, and those toxins are affecting your body and your brain while you're sleeping, while the liver is trying to cleanse overnight. Things that we can do to help the liver. In basic, we always feed, cleanse, and support. Liver feeding is by eating liver. You can do desiccated liver, you can do liver shots, you can make liver pate, you can put ground liver in things, but we want to do liver. Heart is also very high in B vitamins, and that's a delicious organ meat to eat. We also feed our liver with things like cod liver oil, vitamin C, and minerals. We cleanse our liver with beets, beet kvass, fresh beets, cooked beets. Beets in any way are going to be very helpful for our bodies. And that's going to help our liver to cleanse and thin the bile so we can get toxins out easier. You also can use things like some herbal teas and different herbal supplements, as well as lemon and lime juice, which is very cleansing to the liver. If you're doing herbs, you really want to be educating yourself or working with a practitioner for that. Anytime you're cleansing the liver, go slow. Even if you're starting beet kvass or eating beets, make sure you're not doing too much at once because you don't want to have too many uncomfortable symptoms from flushing your liver. Supporting your liver is by doing things like detox baths. This is a great thing because you're doing Epsom salt, which has some sulfur and magnesium in it, which is one of the minerals we need, as well as getting the toxins out. So detox baths with Epsom salt, apple cider vinegar, or baking soda can be very helpful to support your liver by getting some of the toxins out, so your liver doesn't have to do as much of the work. So we fed, supported, and cleansed our liver. Awesome. Now we're going to start seeing sleep be better if that was your issue. The last thing I want to talk about is in the big category of nervous system. Really, it's talking about your good sleep hygiene habits, your circadian rhythm, what you're doing before bed, as well as the foods we've already talked about, which feed your nervous system. So, feeding your nervous system, minerals, fat, and B vitamins are also very important for your nervous system. Making sure you have an abundance of those will be great for your body. The second thing, cleansing your nervous system, is going to be the same things that cleanses the whole body. But we can also cleanse in a less direct way, meaning we can kind of cleanse the habits that we have in our life. Are you using your phone too late at night? Are you watching scary movies or reading the news with sad or stressful stories right before bed? Really, the time from dinner to bedtime should be considered pretty sacred. We have the rest of the day to do stressful decision-making things, but as much as you can, try to get your life calm after dinner. So we eat dinner, maybe change the lights, go out and look at the sunset. This is really helpful for our circadian rhythm reset and our hormones to know what they should be doing. Keep the lights low when you come back in. Don't look at a screen before bed, and stop looking as early as you can. Sometimes we do have to do things, maybe be on our phone to contact our children who are at sports, but looking at your phone as little as possible and having other times when you are watching TV, especially if you're sensitive. Now, some people are more sensitive than others, but if you're not sleeping well, please consider that you might be sensitive. The other thing, by the way, that can affect our nervous system a lot is the EMFs, or the electromagnetic frequencies in the air. Some people are much more affected than others by this, but it is something that you should consider if you are having trouble sleeping, or if you just want to see if you can get more restful sleep. Some ways to reduce EMF exposure would be to turn your Wi-Fi off at night. I have a timer that turns mine off. You can make sure your phone is out of your room. Putting on airplane mode helps some, but not all the way. The tower is still pinging your phone. Keeping your electronics out of the room, which also helps with the screen thing, will help your body rest. Our cells open up at night when we're sleeping to cleanse, and this leaves them a little more vulnerable to EMFs than during the day when they are closed and having different functions. So, when you are looking at your nervous system, you don't just want to look at feeding it, which is of course very important, but there are a lot of habits that you can do that are maybe stressing your nervous system out, things that you could do earlier in the day, and it's going to help you with sleep if you move them to earlier in the day. The last thing I want to talk about is the neurotransmitter production and usage in our body. Neurotransmitters are in the large category of hormones or chemical messengers in our body. There are a lot of neurotransmitters that help our bodies do the things they're supposed to do, including sleeping. Melatonin, of course, is the big one that we all know about. All neurotransmitters are largely made in the gut and received in the gut. The gut-brain connection is such a real thing, and often our gut is actually doing more than our brain is in terms of regulating things. So if you are suspecting you have issues with the gut, do take care of that. And that could be one of those deeper things you need to work on to be able to have better sleep. There's a reflex our body is designed with called the abdominal sleep reflex. This is a position you can put yourself in that triggers a conversion from serotonin to melatonin when you're in it. It is the position that a lot of toddlers sleep in. Have you seen a toddler sprawled out where they have one side straight and the other side their hand is curled and they're tucked in so adorably, chin to chest on the side that their hand is up by their face? That actually is a signal for our body to turn off the ears and turn on the melatonin production. As adults, you may not be able to hold this position very long because of neck or shoulder discomfort, but even getting into it for a few minutes as you're trying to fall asleep and then changing to another position as the sleep pressure grows is going to be helpful for you to fall asleep. So, in summary, there are so many things that you can do for your body to see if sleep can improve. And I encourage you to try to improve your sleep. Not in a stressful way, but it is important. It is helpful. It's one of the ways that we can definitely improve our health and help our body restore function and clean itself and repair damage as we're sleeping if we're getting good quality sleep. So I hope that you found this checklist helpful, and I hope you come back next time for another video on how to take care of your body.